So I want to talk a little bit more about the concept of God and what it means in terms of yoga. So God is this concept that human beings developed to explain all the things that we don't understand. And we can either have an attitude of devotion and surrender toward that aspect, or we can have an attitude of fear. And when we act from devotion, when we act from fear, we get very different results. You might be able to reflect on that for yourself and know how that can work out. And in yoga, we're taught to act from devotion and to develop devotion. And yoga means union, and devotion is through attempting to unite ourselves with that aspect. And I say attempting because it's not an easy thing to do. Some people, there's masters, that's what we call a master, a yogi, someone who's done that. For most of us, it's just an attempt, and that's okay, because even in that attempt, we learn and gain so much. It's not necessary to have the full experience to already feel a deep benefit from that practice. And yoga gives us these techniques to unite with that aspect, that unknown. And even the masters who have experienced that, they're unable to describe it because it goes beyond our mind. Our mind, what expresses itself in words and verbally. And so that connection with God is something we can experience, but we cannot describe it. Each person's connection, each person's experience is only their own. They can point the way to other people, and that's the practices of yoga, but cannot fully share that. It's up to each person to make that journey for themselves. So yoga gives us like a map, a guide for that journey. One thing I was reflecting on today is how nature used to provide a lot of opportunities for this for people, but in general, most of us live very disconnected from nature. Many of my students tell me that when they feel the most peace or when they feel a meditative state is in nature. And so that's a good way to connect, is through nature, through being in nature. And I'm not saying that yoga is the only way. There's many ways people have found, but it's the way I know. So that's it. That's about yoga and the concept of God.